Good night, America. It's time for your news by the numbers. Tonight's number is 57. According to a new CNN poll, Melania's popularity currently sits at 57%, a 10% increase since January. The popularity boost comes as the First Lady has elevated her public presence in recent months and weathered the numerous reports regarding her husband's infidelity. What's more impressive is that the number of Democrats that feel positive towards Melania is up 15 points. And 13 points among women, meaning a majority of women are in love with Melania at 54%. Looking to continue her success, on Monday, the First Lady unveiled a list of initiatives she plans to champion during President Trump's first term, including cyberbullying and child well-being. Let's talk about Melania's recent new popularity. She's went from being a high school mean girl to being America's sweetheart. Hey, it's your boy Richard Fowler. And Melania is this week's news by the numbers. And like I said, tonight's number, 57. 57% of y'all out there are in love with Melania. And guess what, America? Count me in that number as well.
So today, I'm very excited to announce Be Best, an awareness campaign dedicated to the most valuable and fragile among us, our children. There are too many critical issues facing children today. So the three main pillars of Be Best will include well-being, social media use, and opioid abuse.
I have no problems with Melania. I actually like Melania. Here's why. Number one, I don't think Melania signed up to be First Lady of the United States. I don't think she wanted the job. I don't think she signed up for it. I think she married Donald Trump. She had Barron, and she was like, my life is going to be great. I will live in Trump Tower. My kid will have a great life. My family will be okay. Moving on. And then her husband decided to run for president. And all their private life became oh so public, which is what happens for every First Lady when her husband makes a choice to run for president. But this time around, Melania was stuck with sticky Twitter fingers as her husband. And America, just like Trump's competition, Democratic nominee for president 2016, Hillary Clinton, Melania has had to weather some really, really tough stuff living in a glass cage. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Stormy Daniels. I'm talking about the 12 women that came forward during the election. I'm talking about the Playboy Playmate. I'm talking about Michael Cohen. I'm talking about all these things that Melania has to tackle. Every day that Melania wakes up and turns on the news for the past 3.5 months, there has been stories about her husband sleeping with a porn star. Now, President Trump will want to blame this on the fake news media, but he really can't, and even Melania knows that. The blame falls squarely on the president for not being able to keep it in his pants and being loyal to his wife. But Melania's weathered it all, and she's weathered it with style, she's weathered it with grace, and she's weathered it with a sense of, I like to say, levity. Just think about it. I mean, she has used her platform as First Lady quietly to speak out against some of the most vile things that men do to women on a daily basis, including cheating on them. I mean, let's be real. Her showing up to the State of the Union alone, wearing white. Her dipping out on the Davos trip, on President Trump's Davos trip. Her wearing that amazingly beautiful white hat the day that Prime Minister Macron visited the United States. All Melania's attempts to step out of the president's shadow and say, hey, listen, I'm married to him, but guess what, ladies? He's just as sleazy as you thought he was. And I mean, don't take my word for it. Just look at all the clips of President Trump trying to hold Melania's hand and her saying, hey, stop all of that. I'm free, I'm independent, and guess what? You've just made me First Lady, one of the most powerful women in the world. And I'm going to use that power. And I'm going to use that power in my way, in my style, to make the world know that, listen, just because my name is Trump, I'm not as bad as that guy. And the polls are starting to show this, America. I mean, the polls show exactly what I'm saying, which are people really view her in a very favorable light. And what happened over this week is that Melania rolled out her initiatives called Be Best. I'm not a big fan of the title, but the whole idea of Be Best is to tackle cyberbullying and to deal with children's well-being. Now, it's very interesting that Melania chose to tackle cyberbullying when people would argue that her husband's a cyberbully. But that even makes it more fitting, right? It makes it more fitting that Melania is like, I'm going to champion cyberbullying, knowing that the person who I'm married to is, in some people's minds, the ultimate bully. So I'm going to fight this fight from within. And everything I say about cyberbullying and why it's bad and how we should fix it, all those things apply to my husband. It's actually quite remarkable. I think people have bashed Melania for picking cyberbullying and, oh, but she doesn't want to call out the president. Here's the thing, America. She doesn't really have to call out the president. The fact that her initiative is cyberbullying speaks for itself. Melania represents everything that's good in a first lady going through turmoil. Now, I got to tell y'all, and let me say this, and let me be very clear. So to all those people who hate and rag on Melania, get off of her. It's not really worth it. She's not the target. She shouldn't be the target of your ire.